Kindly join me for the Om Smaran followed by Shanti part. Sada Shiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om to all. By now, we all know the following things. What are we studying? Tattva Bodh. What does it mean? Inquiry into the reality, realizing the truth. The text that we are studying, Shastra, it says, we shall explain to those who are endowed with the fourfold qualification. We shall explain to those who are having these fourfold qualification the mode of inquiry into the reality, which is the means of liberation. What is the mode? Mode means method of inquiry into the reality. It says the fourfold qualification. What are those? Viveka, Vairagya, Shadasampatti and Mumukshutvam. The mode of discrimination or inquiry. Man has the subtle power of discrimination. He can distinguish himself from other beings. In a state of ignorance, man uses this power of discrimination merely to recognize objects or concepts of the world. We compare contrasting things and categorize them or distinguish between the conducive and the non-conducive things. I like this, I don't like this, this smells nice, this doesn't smell nice, and so on and so forth. However, when this same faculty is used for discriminating between the permanent, the real, from the impermanent, the unreal, it liberates man. The means of liberation, always when we are bound of something, we will be liberated. Shastra says, all bondage, ignorance, is due to either total lack of thinking or incomplete thinking or wrong thinking. Ignorance can be removed by right thinking and complete thinking. It is said that most problems would not arise if only we pause to think for a moment. But a moment is a long time and thinking is a difficult process. Although, so to speak, we are all thinking from morning to night, from birth to death. But the question is, do we really think, or is it some thinking that just happens? These thoughts, uncontrolled, irrelevant, disassociated, distracted thoughts that occur at random, and then this kind of thinking leads to worry, anger, tension, finally culminating into quarrels. Whether it be the biggest quarrels between two countries or between two friends or two people, two family members. Now, for a change, let us think differently. Let us think about the fundamental questions of life. Who am I? Am I the ever-changing body and the fluctuating mind? Other fundamental question. What is the goal of my life? Is it merely to eat, drink, and be merry? From one holiday to another holiday, from one vacation to another vacation. This inquiry into the fundamentals of your life, this inquiry is the means to liberate us from all bonds, from all sufferings, from all conflicts of life. How? How do we do that? The answer is with the right kind of inquiry. Endowed with the fourfold qualification, Shastra says this. Endowed with fourfold qualification, one may seek to liberate oneself, one may liberate oneself, one may seek to liberate oneself by means of right inquiry, but one is unable to conduct this inquiry due to one's own inadequacy. The mind is not subtle, pure, or single-pointed enough to delve deep into these thoughts. One has no power over the mind. One who has, however, the fourfold qualification is capable of inquiring and realization, just as one who has completed a master's degree in, say, physics is qualified to make an attempt to do doctorate in that particular field, isn't it? Therefore, the Shastra has brought us from the fourfold qualification. The Viveka Vairagya, discrimination and dispassion. Dispassion, that dispassion which is arisen from discrimination. And then to the next aspect, the sixfold inner wealth. What is the inner wealth that begins with that word called sama? Sama meaning mind control. Very quickly, we have done this. We'll just go through the 6 words. Sama, Dama, Uparama, Titiksha, Shraddha, Samadhana. Just as the light of dawn precedes the rising sun, even that faint light of dawn dispels darkness and beautifies the world. In the same way, similarly, the sixfold riches, the wealth, it is the beauty. It beautifies the personalities and behavior even before the rise of the knowledge of the truth in us. We very well know the external wealth that we spend all our life in accumulating. It decreases as you spend it. And the more it decreases, it increases our sorrow. However, the inner wealth, the real wealth, increases with the use of it, and it reduces the sadness. The 6 are interconnected and not necessarily linear. For example, Vairagya, if somebody has Vairagya, it's not necessary he has Viveka. Why? That Vairagya which comes after Viveka is the kind of Vairagya we are looking at. The thinking has to be correct. Go back to the example. The Sadhu Baba who was standing in the middle of the chowk in the cross with one leg up, which my Guru thought he is such a big Vairagi. What was he doing all the penance for? To get a better life. There was no Viveka in him of what is permanent and what is impermanent. He was just striving to do something. That means he didn't have Viveka. So for Vairagya, you have to have Viveka. That kind of Viveka which gives you the right kind of Vairagya. But This sixfold inner wealth is not like that in a linear. Suppose you only have Shraddha, the fifth in number, but it will help you get, Shraddha means faith, it will help you get the other four in before it and also the one which is coming after it. Even if you have one, it will attract and it will make you enable to get all four. And you will realize this as we complete the study. Now we come to today's topic. The reason I am explaining to you all about everything that we have done till date is because I take it upon myself squarely the responsibility of giving a revision to all of you all. All of you are busy people. In the whole week, I don't know how many times you are able to go back and see the video. I don't know how much you all are writing your questions and then going back to your questions and looking, have I got the answer of, I've got the answer. Oh, I have not got the answer. I am not aware of those things. Therefore, the responsibility is squarely on me to remind you all. Hence, whichever video you pick up and see, you will have a complete revision and then you can go forward. Now we move forward. What is Sama and Dama? The question in the message that I had put today, the circular. So we start with Sama. Sama is control, mastery over the mind. Oh, very nice. So we are going to master our mind. Yes, we are. But just as all intelligent beings, what we have to know first before controlling something, we need to know about a few things about the thing that we are going to control about. We must know what is the definition of it. We must know what is the origin, what is the behavior, and what is the final culmination of this. Just for example, when we want to tame a horse, human beings have done it thousands of years ago. They understood, they studied the horse behavior. How does it move? Where does it stay? What does it eat? How does it react? Elephant, such a large animal. Man is sitting on it and moving forward. How did man control such a large animal? By observation and learning to know about it. And this is what we are going to do. So first question, what is the definition of mind? What is mind? So beautifully put by Gurudev. Mind is a continuous flow of thoughts. Bereft of thoughts, what is mind? Think about it. Remove all the thoughts from your mind. What is left? No mind. Mind without a zero. Now the question comes, what are thoughts? What are the origin of these thoughts? There are two ways a thought disturbance erupts in the mind. For example, I am very happily sitting here with all of you all, nicely comfortable, warm. Somebody calls from outside, hello, Jagdish. My mind goes there and I go to look outside. So from an external input, a thought is arisen in my head. Something comes from outside. And the second thing is from within. Oh, it's such a boring thing that I'm doing. Why should I be doing all this? Let me go outside. It's a nice rainy weather. An impulse comes from within. So these are the only two ways thoughts arise in us. The first way, outer sense, the mind is attracted due to outer disturbances or a message comes from outside. The outer senses that run after the world. Senses means our eyes, ears, our smelling capacity, our tasting capacity, our feeling capacity. In the second part, we'll have a much detailed explanation about this. These are the outer senses. The outer senses run in the world outside because the sense objects are in the world. Eyes can only want to see things which are outside. Eyes cannot see inside. Similarly, hearing comes because there is some sound outside. So the mind is taken away to the world, into the world by the senses. That is the first thing. And the second is the inner desires, past memories, our expectations that prompt the mind into the world of action. These are all our past memories and desires. Past of our past, this life, yes, and thousands of lives that we've lived before this. This is how we think and we know about what mind is. Finally, there was one more aspect that we had to know, the culmination. What happens? What happens after these impulses come to us? We don't need to say this. We know, all of us know this. We get restless. We get restless until and unless that particular aspect is received. You've got it, only then you feel, now I am feeling happy. For example, if the mind has run outside when it has seen a beautiful car, I wish I have that car. A part of your mind will always be restless till the time you actually own that car or that object. This is the culmination. And this effect is called bondage. You are bound to an object. The object is not coming and hugging you and holding you. Look at me. The object is just there. Who is attached to it? The sense organ. And behind the sense organ, the mind. An example. In India, there are a lot of people like this who are absolutely happy drinking a lot of drinks. After taking a lot of drinks, they move around on the road like that. And then seeing a lamp post. A lamp post means a post which gives light on the road. Mama, my uncle. And he goes and hugs it. My uncle, I saw you after such a long time. I'm seeing you. Then he keeps talking to the post. He's talking to the post. He's drunk. Okay, Mama, you have to leave me now. I have to go home. Mama, leave me. Mama, leave. Uncle, leave me. Uncle, leave me. Who's holding the pole? He himself. What is he saying? Leave me, leave me. This is our condition. We are not drunk, but we are possessed. Our mind is possessed with the world outside, and we hold on to it. This is bondage. A person with such a mind, whose mind is completely out of control, you may not even know, because you will think that I want it. But we are dancing to the whims and fancies of the mind. And we mistakenly think that it is I who wants it. A person who has mind under control, the way to understand whether your mind is under control or not, you have to see. You should tell to the mind when these kind of eruptions happen, no, not now, later. And if your mind says, no, now. No, not now. No, I want it now. No, don't go there. You should tell your mind, don't go there. And your mind says, no, I am going. I am gone. That mind is not under control. But if we train the mind, slowly, softly, just as we train a little child, slowly the child understands what is the correct thing for it and what is not. The mind is incapable of understanding that there is something which is called good and there is something which is called pleasant. Not bad. Pleasant. Everything that is pleasant is not necessarily good for us. For example, sugar. It's very good. Cakes, extraordinary. Is it good for us? Think. Knowingly we eat because the mind wants it. This is the fine line of controlling the mind. Mind control is called sama. Then there is something else. Dama. Dama means control of the sense organs. We hold on to the thought of mind for a moment. Mind control, you hold on. We've understood what the mind is. Now let us understand what the sense organs are. Here, Shastra says not only the sense organs which are called karma indriya, or those organs which are action oriented, but also those which are the organs of knowledge. So in all, 5 organs of knowledge and 5 organs of action. The 5 action organs are by which you do things: hands, legs, tongue. We do something with the tongue. What do? We talk. Talking is a action. And the lower 2 instruments, one to evacuate the waste material from the body, and the other one is the genitals to reproduce. These are the action oriented. They are called karma indriya. Karma means action. Indriya means organs or instruments. But there are 5 Jnana Indriya, knowledge organs, organs of perception. Eyes for seeing, ear to hear, smell, nose to smell, once again tongue to taste, and finally the skin, the whole body skin, for sensation. These are the 10 organs which are called Bahir Indriya. Bahir Indriya means external organs. They, all of the 10 come into the Dama category. When we are able to control these 10, that is called Dama. Means organs which are going to be active and who receive sensation. These are called the organs of action. When we have control over the organs of action, it is called Dama. But sir, if I have Sama, control of mind, control of action becomes very easy. Exactly. Therefore, Shastra has put Sama first. But tell me truly, how many times we have this control of the mind? Now that we have heard about it, we may put more effort and then control it. Yes. But Dama means even if your mind is angry, even if someone has hurt you, even if somebody has abused you, and in your mind you are upset, and you want to give a piece of your mind to the person by giving 4 bad words, but you don't use your tongue, that is called Dhamma. Not to give vent to the expression of your mind. The mind is inside. The expression comes only from the body. To control that external expression is called Dhamma. So now you see, someone who is not having so much of mind control, someone, why? We ourselves, we don't have so much of mind control. But if we have the ability to control our output, the action, if we have control over these 10, automatically what it does is it slowly starts controlling the mind in the reverse order. Now you understand when I was saying they are not linear, they are hand in glove. If you have one, you will get the other. If you have the other, you will get the other one. And this control is very important in spirituality, nay, in life. In our life, think about it, whichever field you may be in. Is there any field where you will not require these mind control and control of the senses? Exactly. We require it in every single walk of life. Therefore, they are called wealth. If you have this, if someone who has these mana and action, mind and body control, that person will succeed in whichever field he may go. And this is the reason Shastra is asking all of us that now that you are striving for the highest, the goal in your mind is to reach the highest, the truth, which is called Brahman, the reality. First, enable yourself with these instruments, with these powerful instruments which you have, but you need to control them. You need to know how to use them. I may be driving a beautiful car. It's a completely electronic car. Everything can be done electronically. But if I don't know how to use those electronics and I keep using that car as 1947 car, which was completely mechanical, and not use the instruments which are there, what use is of that brilliant equipment that I have? Therefore, how did we start? Knowing Sama and knowing Dama, knowing the mind. So now we know what the mind is. Very quickly, a quick summation. What is mind? Continuous flow of thought. Their thoughts are how? Random. Individually, when you see the thoughts, they will not make too much sense. But the united power of these thoughts, the mind becomes very powerful. When these thoughts are not organized and channelized, what they do, they make us run behind them and we become enslaved. These thoughts enslave us, bondage. Where do they bind us? What do they bind us with? The effect. What is that? The outer objects of the world. I'm using the word object. It is everything. Objects, people, animals, world, politics, everything you say, everything that is related to the world, we get caught up in that. Like the drunk man holding the post and saying, you leave me, while we are holding. None of these worldly objects have the power to even touch us until we go and indulge ourselves into them. To control the mind from running into the field of object is called Sama. The other aspect, Dama, the control of your organs, of your action-oriented organs as well as your knowledge-oriented organs. Some of them in the world become so obsessed with gaining knowledge that they are on the computer, on the internet from morning to night, seeing one video of knowledge, then another video of knowledge, then irrespective which field. They just accumulate a lot of knowledge. And do what? No idea. Just get enslaved. There are some people, as soon as they wake up in the morning, they take the duster in their house and they start cleaning. After they have cleaned, then they start arranging. After they have arranged, then they start putting things. They can't control their physical activities. So the physical activities are enslaving them. To control your physical activity, to get it to moderation, so that the mind is controlled and can be utilized for the highest knowledge, is called Dama. Sama and Dama together complement each other, and the one who is endowed with these two wealth, Sama, control of mind, Dama, control of organs, is sure to reach the highest goal. Today we take a Madhya Viram, and in the following session there is a little bit of Dama which I have to explain to you a little more about it. That we'll start with, but then we will try to reach the next four and conclude this third aspect of the sadhana chatushtaya, the fourfold. Then we will be left with mumukshutvam. Remember how we had begun? All of you, most of you had told me, oh, mumukshutvam I have. We had started with that. Think about it now. After knowing, after listening to us for 9 sessions, 10 sessions, are we really having all those qualities of mumukshutvam? No problem. If you don't have, that's okay. But now we are aware that there is something that we can achieve. And these are things which are low hanging fruits. First take that. Arm yourself, energize yourself, and then we shall go for the highest. With these few words, I take a Madhya Viram. I hope questions arise in your heart and you're noting it down. Note them down. Re-listen to the talk. Go from the first talk to the 9th talk, 10th talk. And then see whether the answers have come. In this following few sessions, we are going to have a very special session. Not only a Q&A, well, you all ask me question and I answer. No. It is going to be a special session. What it's going to be, we are going to discuss later. Kindly join me for Om Smaran. Thanking our Guru Dev, thanking Bhagwan for this beautiful opportunity that we have got of sharing this knowledge with each other. Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Hari Om to one and all.